What's up, everybody? I want to pin my setup episode number 213, recorded live on April 6, 2017. My name's Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly. And as always, we are joined by producer Tom.
It's a little chilly in here, guys.
It's a little chilly, and it's pouring outside. So if you hear a little bit of rain every so often, I do apologize. So we did skip the intro today. I want to know what people think of that. I know it's pretty irrelevant. We've done it for a long time, so I know it's not really necessary. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but let's just waste no time and go right into the first set of the day, submitted by Adam. He's 13. He's thinking of getting a new desk. And that's really all he said. He's just like, I'm thinking of getting a new desk. And he also in the email was just saying like, yeah, I'm going for black and blue, which you could see in the keyboard and the chair, and that's about it. So, I would rather you not even say that, because when I know you're going for a blue and black kind of look, it makes me kind of like confused because it's not really there. So, Lightning McQueen, he's there though, so that's good. But
How old is he?
13.
Okay. Yeah, so he probably grew up with it. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like he's 20 and he's like, Lightning McQueen.
I love cars.
Yeah, ooh, vroom, vroom. But yeah, taking a look at this, I think it's a really nice setup. I really, really enjoy how you put it together. You kept the simplicity. You have a little bit of, your interest in there, but it's not overwhelming. So I think there's a pretty good balance there. Yes, that is a baby, Tom.
Who is that?
I don't know if it's actually him or he just likes babies. But yeah, so your initial thing in your email was thinking about getting a new desk. And honestly, I don't think you need a new desk. I think, yes, it does look a little bit older, and not even older, it just looks a little more executive. You got like the main indented piece, which looks like it's that leather black sort of top, whatever it is. Really, really nice looking. But considering you're 13 and you're going for a blue and black theme, you don't normally have a desk like that. So I can see where your need of wanting a new desk comes into play, because it would make it look nicer. I don't hate the desk though. I think it's in great condition. It's a really cool desk. You probably get some money for it on Craigslist and put that towards getting a new desk. So that is something I would recommend. There's a bird outside that is, do you hear that shit?
It's so loud.
It's so annoying. But yeah, I think that it's like, again, out of sight, out of mind, usability, all that stuff. You did a great job. I think the walls could use a little bit of maybe something to go on the opposite side of the main piece above your monitor. That would probably help kind of balance it out. This bird is going to get killed.
They probably don't hear it.
Oh my God, that is so loud. And it's like, I'm trying to think and it's just killing my thoughts. But yeah, maybe something a little more on the wall, and then definitely go for like a black desk and just kind of throw in more blue. I want to see more blue. I want to see maybe some LEDs, whether it just be some accented lights on the desk pointing at the wall, or it's LED strips, whatever. But yeah, we are getting confirmation in the chat. They are hearing the bird. You're also going to hear the gun go off when I kill it. Yeah, and 3 and 2. Not just kidding. But I think it's a great room. I think you did a great job with the overall feel, the aesthetics. It's nice. But I think, yes, new desk, pop in some blue, and you're going to be all set and ready to go. Right?
Yep.
Cool. Next set of the day is submitted by Ben, who's 15. He uses a setup for gaming, and he is a fan of minimalism, which, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. It's not really like super minimalistic, but it is getting that vibe, so I like it. This photo I think was the best because it is panoramic, but it kind of gives you an idea of what the layout is like. Now, I think a lot of people are going to agree with me here. I'm not a fan of where you decide to put yourself. I don't think it makes sense, especially considering how big your desk is. Now, there wasn't anything specifically said in the email that says, oh, the left side is for when I'm doing homework, or, there was no answer to that. There was, usually people will say, and we'll see that later on, that they use a specific side for one thing and they need that open desk space. But here, nothing was said about that. So I know you have some stuff under there, what looks like probably a laptop and things like that, but nothing states that you use that side specifically for one thing. So I think it was a really a missed opportunity not putting yourself centered to that huge desk space, because now it looks odd that you're off to the right side, not even fully centered to the right shelf. You should be centered to the shelf completely. It will look a lot nicer. And your cables are good. They're coming through a loom in the right side. On the floor in the first photo, and kind of in that photo as well, you can see once they spew out, you don't do too much with it, so definitely more work needed there, but at least it's all going to one central location. Something for your headphones is also key. Having it on your monitor is not always the best option. And I think that you just pushed yourself a little too far to be close to where the guitar is and that wall and everything. It doesn't look as clean and good as it should. And what I mean by that is if you were to just center yourself out, your setup would look way bigger. It would probably feel a lot nicer. Your mouse isn't capable of going off the desk with really not even that much motion to the side. So a little bit out of mind I clean up, but for the most part it's not bad. He also said that those aren't purple LEDs. He said they're just white, which I think is kind of weird because obviously that's just how the camera made it look, but why would you put white on white on white on white?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem right. So I think a pop of color will actually help, and you can have a minimalistic setup that has a flow of color. So hey, I mean, what are you gonna do about it? But I think the last thing I'll say is because you do have the wall mount already set up. If you're gonna leave the monitor and all that stuff over there, you got to do something with the left because it literally is like the complete opposite. You have one side with almost nothing to the other side where it looks like everything's crammed into a little spot when it doesn't need to be. Give yourself a little bit of room to breathe. But yeah, you have anything you want to say?
Nope.
All right, next set of the day is submitted by James. He's 17, and that's about it. We don't know anything else about him. But I don't know about you guys. If you guys follow Steven Suptic, then if you see the Pulp Fiction poster, I just think of his profile picture on Twitter right now because he photoshopped his face onto it. But yeah, go check out Steven Suptic if you're looking for funny content. His new content is 10 out of 10. But yeah, the one thing that really kind of killed this, and not more so in that photo, but that photo, the white balance is like off, so it makes everything look a little weird. But yeah, I think that the setup itself, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Really the only cable we're seeing is from the headphone, which is understandable. We see the mouse bungee and everything like that, but aside from that, it's pretty damn good. I like how clean it is. Now, I do think you're missing out on having speakers, which is something I'm going to say throughout the rest of the show, and some people are going to say they don't need them, but I'm just saying from putting everyone on an equal playing field, that's something we would like to see. And of course, somewhere to put your headphones would also be ideal. For the most part, though, I think it's straightforward. It's to the point. You did a good job. There's nothing on the desk, which I would assume that's something you did on purpose. You don't want things to distract you, and therefore you put all of your theme away from the setup in terms of posters and the shelf off to the side, which, by the way, he does have a headphone stand on one of the shelves. You can see, yeah, and it's just confusing that he's not using it. So maybe at the time it was sort of like, he was using it, but he forgot to put it on. I don't know, but it would have helped making the setup look a little bit nicer. But again, it's little things here, nitpicking. I think it's just a cool hangout. I don't really think too much into it. It's just straight to the point. It works. It's not going to make me say, holy crap, that's amazing. But it's also not like, the end of the world. So maybe one thing I would possibly do, depending on what the rest of the room looks like to the right side on that first photo, is rearrange the posters just so it's a little more symmetrical. One of the posters is being covered by the shelf. I think put the landscape Pulp Fiction poster dead center to the desk, and then have the other ones on the sides. That way they're not being covered. It just looks a little bit neater and kind of goes with the flow. But as far as the right side, you have a Pink Floyd poster. I don't know if that fits, or I don't know. So you're going to have to rearrange a few things and probably touch up the paint on the wall because there's a lot of missing pieces and things like that. But it seems to be pretty nice as far as your setup goes. So not bad at all. And then, I forgot there's a third photo. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, showing off cable management.
Yeah,
Great job.
Yeah. Whoa.
Great job.
Whoa, Tom's a little bitchy today.
No, I'm not.
He's like, yeah. By the way, you can see the dude's hand, his finger.
Oh, where? Yeah, you could barely.
Yeah, like, why do people do that? Yeah, we could see a little bit bigger, but God, come on now. Anyways, let's go to the next setup submitted by Urban Chaos. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of photos here. We don't know his age, though, so I just want to preface by saying that. But he does work from home as a graphic designer, hence the iMac. When he games, he's using his PS4, not his iMac. So for all the haters, you can back the train up, okay? And he rarely, that's one word my small brain can't comprehend. He barely listens to music, which is why he said he only uses his iMac speakers, but I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I don't mean to scream. I mean, yeah, but really, come on. This is where we're going to have a little bit of an issue. So this setup is drop dead gorgeous, epic, awesome. You name the word that has to, it's a synonym of epic, and yes, it applies here. But with that said, we're here to critique the actual setup, desk setup itself, and that's where I have a few issues. Everything else, though, I mean, the entertainment setup, the shoes underneath, really the right side. He's like, leave your brother the Samurai. I can't really do the voice, but he's got all the motorcycles, and he does have boxes, but it's not over the top. It's just a nice plot. I was gonna say spot and place for it, but I combined the words. Therefore, maybe that's how they came up with plot.
Yeah, just a new
Space
plot,
and
yeah.
place. Plot.
You got a great plot.
But yeah, I think he did a great job with that. I like the knife collection, the wall-mounted PS4, the cable management, the LEDs, everything he did. Really, just it's clean, it's nice, it's perfect. Really awesome job. A lot of work went into that. But when we look at this photo, I don't know if you guys get the same feel. Now, of course, it is a Mac setup. If you go to an Apple store, it's usually like very bare minimum. Only the essentials: a mouse, a keyboard, and the damn Mac itself. So yes, this is a very symmetrical setup, like oddly satisfying. If you look like far back, the shelves and everything, I think it's weird that they're different colored drawers, but it's like that gradient, which is really cool. But here we go. Zoom on into the actual setup itself. He does have a USB hub, which is beautifully placed on the stand of the iMac, which is really cool. And he's got these little plants and little things and stuff, which is really cool. But I just feel like, man, that would be really boring to work at. I feel like maybe, yes, it's easier for him to focus on the work at hand, but I feel like accessories, he doesn't really have anything. It doesn't seem to be like, I don't know how to say it without sounding like just being a dick.
I feel like if you're a graphic designer, don't you want like another monitor to like work off of, or is that different for everybody?
I prefer. I mean, I'm not like the best graphic designer in the world, but I'm going to college for that, so I probably shouldn't be talking shit about myself. But I need multiple displays, at least another one.
Yeah.
Now I've been using 2 ultra wides, and it's like I can't ever change that. So, I mean, unless you're really good at going back and forth between spaces and things like that, I just see that being pretty difficult to just kind of work off that. It looks like it's a 27-inch, but still, even then, for me, I like to have Photoshop or whatever program I'm using dead center, and then all my other assets and information and guidelines and stuff on a separate. I was gonna say
you're like me, where you just fumble on every word.
Except I'm just better looking. So
that's one positive.
I was gonna say secondary and separate at the same time. Therefore, separatary is a new word. Put it in the dictionary. But yeah, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really cool. But it's not 100 for me. It's not like 10 out of 10 drop my pants would do it right now kind of situation. And really the reason I say that is just because the actual setup itself seems a little like you did a great job with it, but where's the rest of the life, the love, it's not. And people are saying that's a 99. It's not a 99. You break it down category by category. It's just missing a little bit of oomph. But aside from that, absolutely insane. And go check them out. Urban Chaos, which is KAOS.co.uk. I believe you could go see all of the crazy stuff he does. But hey, this next setup is even better. Check it out. Submitted by Lucas. Lucas, my man, is 16. Third photo will blow your pants off. Oh, damn. Really, though, that is a cool room. That is an insanely cool room because he has everything. A bed, an entertainment setup, and a dope-ass setup. Now, if you're like me, you're definitely going to think that this room is better than the last one, but that definitely goes to show what kind of person you are. If you're a minimalist, if you're more about, the last guy had a huge room, like just insane. I think the entertainment setup, if they were to combine both their entertainment setups into like that one space, it'd be really good. But I think like there are a few things he did with his setup that I don't like as much. So like for instance, here above the TV, you're going to see tons of boxes, which I think is just a little overkill. I think that the presentation on the shelves and everything, the last setup was amazing. So yeah, a few things compare and contrast, but I think that the overall, the dark gray wool that he has really plays a big part of making this look badass. And one thing I want to quickly say before we actually dive into the setup, if you go to the third photo and zoom in on the posters, he's got different patents for cars, which is awesome. I've seen a lot of different art like that. It looks really, really nice. But he really said in his email that he loves cars. But then we go to his actual setup, and I don't see any car-related things. So that's where I was a little bit confused. And the reason I say that is because, you want to make your setup yours. If you have car stuff on the other side of the room and you're really into cars, you should kind of try to throw that into the rest of the setup. Now, again, he does have one of the patents posters above, which is for an engine. So, yes, a little bit into the cars, but, a little car on the desk or something would really kind of take it to the next level. And that's just me being a dick. So, but I mean, I do like all the things that he has, but few things I would like to see. Putting the headphones somewhere where they can just kind of hang off to the side, underneath the desk, on top of the desk with a stand, whatever the case may be. I think that will work nicely. I do like that he has his laptop off to the side, which is easily accessible. And really, as far as the undershot goes, the cable management is gorgeous. Yes, it does come with the under desk little shelf to make it easy, but he didn't just stop there. He took it to the next level, and that's a big deal. So I really like how he did that. In that case, I mean,
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I wish you could show it off on the desk, but I understand with the space. Yeah, it helps with cable management, and also, the only spot he would really put it is that right spot where his laptop is. Otherwise his desk is not big enough. But I definitely agree, it would be epic to have it on the actual desk itself. I mean, first off, that is just a beautiful case, beautiful, but the red flowing through that is just epic. So you did a great job with that. I love the trash can too. I think that's really because it kind of works in his room. Like it looks cool. So I really like it. I think you did an amazing job with just about everything. But yeah, I again, like if he had a bigger room, when this dude, because he's only 16, which is insane. When this dude gets his own place, I mean, him and Urban Chaos are going to be. Yeah, they're gonna hang out together.
They're like bros. Yeah, like that epic room. Really, 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 really nice. I would love to know what you guys think, though, in the comments. What can he change? Because obviously everyone's always looking for things to improve. But yeah, so I think it's really, really cool. Really awesome setup. Let's move on to the next setup submitted by Nick. Now, staying on this photo, he's 11 years old, which already blew our minds back on episode 197, and he said that he wanted to put a lot of time and effort into actually finishing his setup, because I gave him a lot of crap saying, look at, you got the empty space for the poster, and you started to do foam in the acoustic foam in the far left corner, all these different pieces, you didn't make your damn bed for the photo, you didn't do any of that, but my main thing was focusing on those cables. And we got a quick zoom in there just to kind of take a little mental snapshot just so we can see in the next photo, because this is really not even an attempt. Not even an attempt. But the dude's 11. So I was like, hey man, just for the next time you submit, just, put some time towards it. So he's like, all right, I got a fast pass. I'm about to do this. And, I mean, the posters, the foam, great stuff, but in the second photo I don't think you got the memo about the cables, and I hate to say it, but that's like a big part of your setup. Of course, that's 1 out of the 5 categories, which in my case gets doubled because I'm the only host. It almost makes the setup look worse than it really is. If all those cables were gone, which by the way, why do you have so many cables?
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, like a lot of cables. But if you did not have any cables in the setup, it would change everything. Now, that doesn't change the fact that Out of Sight, Out of Mind is not great. Stacks of games, the Apple Watch box, the usability of the speakers, something I really tried to make known in the last critiquing. You didn't do anything with that. So the placement of the speakers, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, all that stuff really just kind of lost it for me there. Now, the third photo is like the other part of the room, which is, I think that got cooler. You have some snapback, well, not actually no snapbacks, old dad hats and stuff, and the tenant is like, oh, that's cool. I mean, you do have a speaker going up the door frame, which is interesting. So, okay. But the bottom right, we could kind of get the gist here that maybe you're not the cleanest person in the world. Just looks a little messy. But I think, going back to the first photo, yes, you made your bed. Yes, you put a poster up and all that. Like, really, really cool. You have a lot of cool accessories, but and the room just seems like really chill to be at. But I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, you got to put some time towards cable management. And if you don't want to, then what you really need to do is pull the desk forward a little bit, get a big black something, or that's funny, like I don't know, like whether it's a curtain or something thick that you can staple along the back. Okay, I'm not making it any better. Staple to the back of the desk so that it hides everything on the floor. And then everything that's on top of the desk in terms of cables needs to be thrown behind and make it disappear because it's really killing your setup. So I think that's really the only way for you to fix it. Out of sight, out of mind, though, needs to be worked on. You need to fix the placement of the speakers. You need to get some storage as well. So if you get yourself an Alex drawer from IKEA to go under the desk, that will take away a lot of the crap on there. So I definitely think you made it yours in the sense that the theme is there, like all that's like the really cool colors. You filled up the blank wall space. Awesome job with that. But cables and out of sight, out of mind, and usability for that matter are really going to brutally murder your score. So keep that in mind. And yeah, someone just wanted to see. Go back to the first photo real quick. Yeah, so that verse now. So yes. You move some posters, put some foam tiles up, and yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next setup submitted by Alex. Now, this was his setup on episode 177. He used his setup. Uses his setup to watch Netflix, YouTube, listen to music, game, things like that. He says he plays a lot of CS:GO. He loves Airsoft, Space, The Flash, Arrow, all that. Loves it, dude. Yo, Tom, did you know he loves it?
I did not know.
Well, now
until
you
know.
Told me. Okay, well, now you know. Let's go check it out. Brand new setup. Next photo. Next photo. But yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, so I think it's cool you got the pop vinyls there. They kind of help, put a little bit of oomph because, you said you like Flash. You said you like Arrow. I was about to say, you can't tell me you like things if you're not going to put it in the damn setup. So, very, very interesting there. I think the canvas is like murders my eyes. How contrasted, like the colors, like pop.
It looks so real.
The quality of that print is insane. And honestly, we're used to seeing canvases where like the print quality is shit. Yeah. So, wherever you got that from, definitely share a link. I'm sure some people would be interested in picking up not even that specific one, but just to know where you got it because the print quality is insane. So I really, 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 really like that. Now, what's cool about that is you did say you love space. So that's a really cool kind of push towards that. I like it. You said you like Airsoft. Well, look to the wall. I mean, I would hope that's an Airsoft gun.
He's got the little baggie on.
Yeah, when he walks into the arena and he's like, I'm not going to kill anybody. And then he takes it off and then he kills them. So I think that's really cool. All the things that you told me, you did it. You put it in, you made it work, which is cool. One thing that I wondered was, you said you like to play CSGO. Is it weird? Now, I'm not a CSGO player. Is it weird that you don't have a primary display, but rather two primaries? Does it make it harder to play? Because I would assume you're like this, like looking to the side, kind of like doing your thing. So let me know, CSGO players, do you like it? Do you think that that's going to kind of hurt his like CSGO stuff? You know what I'm saying, dude? He did tell me, I forget his rank, but he said it, and it was like pretty crazy. So I'm going to assume that he's good. You know what I'm saying? So
good enough to play, yeah.
Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. People said harder. It looks like a lot of people are saying it's harder. Yeah, they play with the keyboard slant and things like that. One thing a lot of people are saying in the chat is to actually do some isolation pads, some stands or something like that for the speakers, because that will definitely help quite a bit. Now, I'm trying to think. I'm just reading a few things. Yeah, looks like everyone's just kind of saying, yeah, it's not good for CSGO, whatever. So I don't know. Let us know, Alex, what you think about that, if it's really that big of a deal for you. I mean, in his original photo, it was primary, secondary, so maybe he was like, nah, I don't need that. I don't know. But I'm definitely happy you got a desk that actually works for you. I like what you're doing. Headphones definitely need some sort of mount, whatever. I don't like when people do that. Cable management's almost perfect, just a little bit of oomph, and it'll be great. But yeah. And I definitely think I wish there was a further back photo so we could really see what the area was like. But I was thinking like a little bit more with theme.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe get another airsoft gun or something like that.
Yeah, something to kind of fill up that space and really like show what you're all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. I was trying to think if I had.
It's a very straightforward setup, but it looks really nice.
Yeah, I thought I had something else to say, but I guess not. Hey, let's go to the final set of the day, submitted by George, who is 19. He uses Setup for Gaming and web surfing, and he tries to make little improvements every month when he gets paid. So yeah, we're working with these two photos here. Very straightforward setup. I mean, this one as well. There's not too much to critique, but I'm going to kind of give it a swing here. Looking under the monitors. That's sort of my first issue, I guess you could say. Putting the camera and the lenses and really the full out guy and the can and all that. Not a good spot. I don't think that works, especially in the first photo. You can see how most of it's cut off and sort of behind the display, so it really defeats the purpose. So definitely a new spot for all that is needed. Maybe like off to the side, you get a little drawer, a little something that's nice and small that can house the PlayStation and your DVR and all that. I think that is ideal. Also by the microphone, you have all that stuff, the books and whatnot. I think that should go. That'll help kind of clear things up a bit. And then I think for the actual displays, they're down and pointing up, which is obviously a personal preference. Maybe you're like a lot taller and you like seeing it from that angle, but I always tell people kind of curve them in a little bit, angle them in, because if they're flat and you're looking both side to side, you're not getting the best viewing angle of the display itself. Now, if it's in a little bit, you're actually going to be able to see it perfectly. So that's just what I would say. Now, the TV itself, I would assume your bed is behind you. Therefore, that's why the TV with bezels fatter than your mom are there. Sorry, I just like to say that.
It's a birthday girl.
Yeah, I know. That was a funny episode. But I think if you're using it for the bed, cool, fine, nice. Obviously, wire mold is always something you can do. And then the left side of the wall, I think a little bit of something bigger, maybe with a little bit more.
I'll just put a floating shelf there and put the stuff that you have on your desk on there.
There you go. You can do that. I definitely... Okay, apparently we're about to get bombed. But yeah, something... If you do the shelf, that works. If not, just something a little bit bigger that kind of like really makes sense. I don't know. I don't really know what to get from that. But then, of course, the mouse pad is something a lot of people are going to be talking about because, yes, although it's cool, I don't know what it is, because that's kind of defeats the point of having a mouse pad with a graphic on it because it's covered. It
looks like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Really?
I don't know. No, it's not.
Okay.
It just looks like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Logo.
But I don't understand how that is at all usable. You need something longer, or just get a separate mouse pad for your mouse, because that's a keyboard pad. Unless you have a 10 keyless, that's like not ideal. I don't know how you move it without hitting the keyboard or going off the mouse pad. I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel about that. But really, aside from those few things, cable management coming out of, which, by the way, this is the Pecan. It has the netting at the bottom, which is always great. Just kind of tie those cables together a little bit tighter, maybe even get some wrap for it and make it look really, really nice. But aside from that, I think your cable management's pretty good. Just the three coming out of the monitor. If you want to try to take the left monitor cables, bring it along the back of the display, coming out of the right one. Therefore, it's all in one strand. That is something you can do. But hey, I mean, not a bad setup at all. Just a few things here and there that you can change and improve to make it perfect. So there we go. We're going to hop into the scores for today's episode. Yo, you ready?
Yep.
First episode. First setup, Adam 76, Ben 80, James 78, Urban Chaos 94, Lucas 96, Nicholas 64, which is really generous, Alex 92, George 74. That's it. 213. Thanks for watching. And I'm at Matt Philly. He's at Thomas Philly. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you on Sunday. I'm going to kill myself.